Joe, what's up, dude?
What's going on, AB? How are you?
Episode 9, man. Episode 9.
Oh, enjoying the last day of spring break, man. How about you?
Whew, back at it tomorrow, man. Back at it tomorrow. What you got planned for him? What y'all doing? Tell me about it.
We maxed right before we left, football-wise. Softball is in their last regular season games. I think they got St. Thomas More left, maybe one more after that.
The Stemmers.
Track just finished the Meet of Champions, the LHSAA Meet of Champions this past week. Girls basketball, we start day one off season. We maxed before we left just to get a baseline after the season. Then we start day one off season. We get back. Football, we're heading into a 5-3-1 for this month going into spring ball.
Mm-hmm.
And you think of everyone else, volleyball starting to get into it full tilt with the off season. I took them on this year too. So, got to enjoy spring break. I really didn't do anything. I just kind of sat around the house, hung out, went to the LSU Coaches Clinic this weekend.
How was that?
All right, another day, another Ryan Clark and them with their thing with their podcast.
Tell people who don't know who Ryan Clark is. Who is that?
Former LSU football player, current ESPN analyst. Played for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
Yeah, so that, big time, one of the biggest things I got out of the whole weekend, LSU Dr. Matt Frakes, their dietitian, assistant, AD of athletic performance, man.
Real deal.
Awesome dude, yes. Coach Moffitt had him on his podcast not too long ago.
Yep.
Awesome guy, man. Like,
I listened to it. It was good.
Down to earth. He's very, very help whenever you need help. Great guy. So that was pretty cool. Other than that, just kind of hung out over spring break, hung out with the kids, hung out with the wife. Good Friday's always great with her family, a lot of crawfish. I think we talked about that already. We had an episode in between. So Good Friday, Easter was good. The whole week just kind of hung out. What about you?
I opened it up a few days, man. We had track practice. We had a meet Tuesday at McNeese. And then I had the weight room open Wednesday and Friday. I got a few kids that are going to lift at a USAPL meet this coming weekend. In fact, I have about 5 kids, including my son, lifting. So
where's that at again?
It's at the Smoothie King Center. It's the Louisiana Legends Classic, Smoothie King Center in Baton Rouge.
The River Center, the Raising Cane's one. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was Raising Cane's. I thought it was
the
New Orleans. That's my fault.
I was going to say, damn, y'all got the Smoothie King Center for a Pelican meet? What the hell are y'all doing?
Yeah, all up on the floor, on the court at halftime.
Yeah, but they're doing a big old expo, aren't they, this weekend?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I might have to ride up there and see old Will lift.
Come through, man. Come through. Going through a couple PRs this week.
That's good.
So finally get to the big boy bar. Told him, I said, man, we got to stop messing around with the training bar. We got to start getting on that 45, man.
Yeah.
So be meet 3 for him. So he's gonna miss his partner Annalise, though. I know that.
Yeah, she's a little wrestling, but a little hiatus right now. We're trying to get our trying to get our grades right. 5th grade's kicking our butt right now.
That's all right.
How that is.
It says student in front of athlete.
That it does, man. It does. So she's got to learn that. But yeah, man, it's been a good week, good refreshing week. Actually, this is the only break that I don't go open up the weight room.
Yeah.
Like Thanksgiving, I will, here and there, maybe 1 or 2 days. Christmas, I do. All other holiday, Mardi Gras, I do. This is the only one I don't actually go up there.
Yeah.
You're kind of reaching that point in the year where I'm tired, they're tired. And it's not an excuse, but we come back and we only got 6 weeks of school left. Roughly 6, 7.
Are y'all on 9 or 6 weeks?
We're on 9.
Yeah. What? 7 of those is going to include state testing, right?
I mean, I think we come back and we start CLEP testing and all that stuff. Yeah. So we're nearing the end. If you don't have if you're a teacher and you don't have your stuff done within the next week or 2,
it's over.
It's over. You're messing up.
It's over. It's over. You have to you're gonna have to make up grades or something.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So you know how it is.
And for us in the gym, the closer we get to the end of it, the more we start getting just filter ins from other classes. Well, Miss such and such said I can. No, you can't.
Oh yeah.
Go back to your class.
I have a note from the sub that I can be in here and shoot basketball.
No, you can't.
Go back.
Yeah, that's not happening today. Go back.
Yeah. So I know how that is. You end up with all the overflow and.
Oh yeah.
ACT day is the best day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
man.
How's the family?
Man, they're great, man. They're great. They came up to me. Will and Lily came up to the weight room with me, which they love to do. Nothing was broken. Nothing was injured. So good day. Sometimes we end up knocking things down. We end up losing our privileges. How about your kids, man? Good.
They're good. They're just living life. Patrick's outside right now, jumping on a trampoline. That's what I actually was able to go out there with him for a few minutes right before we got on. So
that's awesome.
He's outside on the trampoline. Lisa's doing her thing. Like I said, school's near an end.
How about Betsy?
She's good. She's good. Yeah, we she had off this week too. Last year we had different spring breaks. This year we had the same spring break, so that was definitely a positive.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Elena was off a bunch this week, so we got to spend a lot of time together. It was nice.
Yeah, we got to, basically sat around the house. We did a few things. Yeah. We cleaned up, had some people over early in the break, but just kind of did our thing.
Yeah, awesome.
So,
well, man, you about ready to bring on Coach Woosley?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and give a little introduction here.
All right, go ahead.
One that's probably not needed, but we have on tonight Coach Amanda Woosley. She's entering her 7th year as the Zachary's Throws coach. She was named the Milesplit 2023 Assistant Coach of the Year after her female throwers went 1-2 in shot and scored an impressive 18 points at the LHSAA Indoor State Championship and a total of 35 points at the LHSAA Outdoor State Championship. She's coached multiple state champions, 2 state record holders in her tenure at Zachary. Prior to her time at Zachary, she spent 5 years as the Episcopal Throws coach and had an impressive 8 state champions and 12 top 3 finishers in 2A. She also completed her graduate assistantship under Mike Lucas at Southeastern, working inside and outside the weight room. She competed as a javelin thrower at LSU, where she was second team All-SEC, 4-time academic All-SEC. In high school, she was a 2-time national runner-up and 8-time state champion and 3-time All-American. She's been a part of over 10 team state championships and holds a CSCS in strength and conditioning. And right now she is currently a 1st and 2nd grade PE teacher for the Zachary Independent School District. So here on, we have Coach Woosley.
What's happening, Coach?
Hey, y'all. It's always that 1st and 2nd grade PE that gets me. I'll tell y'all, if you want to be humbled real quick, go work with 6-year-olds.
I bet. That's my favorite part is look at everything she's done, and she's okay with just, here I am. I'm 1st and 2nd grade PE, and I love it.
Oh, I love those little kids, y'all. Like I said, it keeps me humble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're a great time. We each got one of those little ones at home that around that age, right?
Yes. My 6-year-old she's a blast.
Just imagine 836 of them.
Yeah. No.
I would say that's one of the best things about that is we have every 836 of them get PE every day. We're one of the few elementary schools in the state that the kids get PE every day.
Ooh. They need that though.
Yeah, that is awesome.
They need that. They need that.
I don't think Patrick goes to PE every day for a fact. I don't think he does. I'm pretty sure it's only like every other, maybe.
Yeah.
I know that's where he gets his most dojo downs at is PE.
What's a dojo down?
It's like a
dojo down.
Oh yeah. It comes through my phone like Patrick got a dojo down for climbing on the fence or for pushing a kid or for this or geez, man, here we go. So
when those dojo messages come across, you're like, who did what?
Yeah. And like it's almost worth paying for the full version because you're like, all right, what did they really do? Because every now and then, like, it'll come up what they really did because the teacher will leave a message, or sometimes it doesn't. I'm like, we might have to pay for the full version to really see what he does.
Oh, well, I'd 1,000% pay. I want to know. I absolutely want to know.
He knows, man. As soon as he gets out the bus, You could
He's
see,
hiding from you.
you could see if he had a dojo down or not, because either the tears start or he comes off screaming, "No dojo downs today." So
See, I'm laughing because one of my twins, because I have the twins, one's like, she gave the whole class dojo down because they were talking, but I promise I wasn't talking. I'm like, okay.
I love it. I love it. Well, cool. I'm glad you brought that up. That's kind of some things we ask people when they come on the podcast is about family. So about your family, Coach.
I have a 13-year-old son who he does jujitsu and track. And then I have twin girls who are 11. And and when I had kids, you think about the traditional sports, like Cameron's going to do football. He's going to be a big old boy. My girl's going to play softball. They're going to do basketball. All those lasted one season. We got jujitsu, we got track, and we got all-star cheerleading, which I'll tell you what, all that all-star cheerleading stuff, that's intense.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is.
Yeah.
That's a few. Denham just started doing like competitive cheer, and I'm just like, man, this is a lot of stuff. Like this is a lot. And a lot of the guys on our coaching staff, they have daughters that do it. And I'm just like, man, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, at 11 years old, it's 4 days a week, 4 days, 3 days team, 1 day tumbling. I'm like, this is a lot for 11, but she loves it. So I totally support them. And that's one of those things where I know nothing about cheerleading. I know nothing about judo. So I could actually just go and watch and be a parent.
That's how I am with Annalise's wrestling is I know nothing about it. And I don't even go to practice. I'm just like, I just want to go to the matches. I don't know anything else, but it's great because I don't know anything. That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
So tell us, Coach, tell us hometown, where you from,
Okay.
where
So
where you live?
I'm originally from New Jersey. I don't know. I can still kind of hear my accent.
It comes out. So talking to you in the pre-show, in person, I've never heard it, but in the pre-show, I was like, okay, I can kind of hear like the little Jersey accent coming out right here.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't mean to cut you off. I was thinking like West Bank, New Orleans, Coach. Honestly, I was just thinking New Orleans.
I get that a lot. We always say, my friends say after 10 o'clock, it comes out even more. Like when I get tired, it's like, it's full blown New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. I came to LSU, just fell in love with the South, had some kids, just hanging out now, living the dream, coaching first and second grade PE.
That's usually how it goes, right? Like people come, it's hard to beat. There's a lot of great states, but it's hard to beat Louisiana. It's hard to beat the people, the food, the environment. When I used to teach geography, I told the kids, like, this state's a cultural melting pot, like, especially New Orleans. Like, you can't find what you find here very often in many states. Like, the demographic, it's so great to see, and just everything about it, like, it keeps people here.
Yep. I had originally committed to UCLA, and back then, national letter of intent was a totally different thing. I had verbally committed to them, and their throws coach left. So I was like, I'll just go to LSU. And I just remember my dad being like Louisiana, like the actual state, like that's where you're moving to. You'll be back in 4 years. So 21 years later, I'm still here.
Still here. That's awesome. Yeah. I know a lot of people like Beards like that, like he wasn't from Louisiana. He's from Birmingham, Alabama. He tells that story all the time. He drove in and saw Bienview in Louisiana. I was like, I don't know what that means. I'll be out here in 4 months, and here we are. But I love that people stick around. I'm not originally, neither of us, Alan or myself, are originally from here. I'm from Texas. I'm from Texas as well, and move out here, and here we are. So cool. So you came down here. Well, that kind of brings us into the next thing. You came down here to go to LSU. You do the Javelin there. You're pretty successful. Pretty successful in high school, and
I was pretty successful in high school. I had a lot of fun, and that's my biggest thing. Like I just try to, even with my kids now, just have fun. Like it ain't that serious. I mean, it's once you take the fun out of anything, once it turns into a job at this level,
it's all about the fun and remembering why you do it. I've got to remind myself and the kids that all the time, like.
Yeah. Remember
why you got into this. Remember why you're still doing this. Remember why, everything. Why you fell in love with the sport, no matter what it was. Like, and sometimes I forget that too.
Yeah, and I'm laughing. I'm not laughing, but I'm glad you said that because I worked really hard. Last year was a great year, and this year's a great year because every year it's almost like you stay in the system and you have a whole new group of kids. You have to know, you have to get used to. You stay stagnant, but all new kids and generations. But last year I really allowed myself to disconnect, and I know that sounds terrible, but like I didn't bring the results home, and that helped me a lot.
Mhm.
I learned as I'm getting older, I can't go up and down with wins, losses, results. I can just give the kids the best I can and they do what they want with it.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that one in the first episode, huh,
Mhm.
AB? Just about
yeah.
like leaving work at work. It's so hard to do. And, Coach, you and I have talked about this a lot this year about leaving it at work.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for me to do that. But once you do it, it's like a whole new world opens up of like really falling back in love with it. Like, because you're not just beating a dead horse. And, we got a rule with football. We got a rule in our house where it's a 24-hour rule. Once it's over, it's over. It's not even really 24 hours. Like it's really about 12. But
yeah.
I try not to. My hardest not to bring work home. If I do, I wait till they go to sleep and kill myself staying up all night and waking up so early to go to work.
Well, and I found that this year, especially when I'm at practice, I'm much more intentional with what I'm doing and what we're doing.
Yeah, no, it gives you more focus, more. I don't know how to say it, AB. I mean, what do you more focus, more attentive to detail, just everything about it. You're so much more bought in.
You can dump more into it while you're there. I mean, Coach, you work in Zachary, but you live in Denham, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got what, 40 minutes to drive home?
38 minutes door to door.
Mine too. Like, so I can decompress it. I mean, just, I remember the coach that hired me at McNeese, the football coach, because at that time that's who makes the hire. He said, look, man, your family don't know y'all couldn't run the trap that day. Your family don't know that y'all couldn't stop the go route. Leave it at work. Whatever you got to do. And when I was 10 minutes from the house, then I'd sit in the weight room for 30 minutes and just breathe. You know what I mean? And now I get that car time. So.
Which is so valuable. I don't even put the radio on, Coach. I have 4 lights. I got 2 in Zachary, and I don't hit another one until I get to Denham up here. Yeah, it's just decompress.
That's it.
So we're all in the same boat because I drive that far too.
Yeah, you drive that far.
It's just more often than not, like you said, I don't listen to music. I'm just quiet. Like I don't want to talk to anybody. Some days, I mean, AB, I'm sorry, but some days I just watch my phone ring. People call me and I'll just watch my phone ring. Like, not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
I just want to talk today. Yeah. I know. I get it too.
Not happening today.
Yeah. Sometimes that's just the best way to be. So.
See, I do that before I get the track practice too. Like my kids know, like my throwers know, because I'll leave, like my last class ends at 2:30 and I'll get to the high school at like 2:35, but they know I need 5 minutes. So I just stand on the high jump pit, watch them warm up. Don't talk to me. Please don't talk to me.
Shoot, after dealing with 800 plus first and second graders, I can imagine.
I need to decompress. I need to refocus.
Coach, what are we doing today? We said, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
We'll warm up. That's what we're doing. They'll warm up.
But the funniest is the freshmen don't know that yet, so they'll be like, "Oh, don't go over there. Don't go over there."
No, we have 15 more seconds of silence, please.
Yeah.
Get away.
Don't shake the tree. Please don't do that.
No, but I always say I have the second best job in the entire district. I have it really sweet, because I get the best of both worlds. They say, I get a lot of questions. How do you transition from 6 and 7-year-olds to, I coach both the girls and boys, but predominantly boys, because there's always more boy throwers out there. And I said, there's not much difference. The mentality and about the same.
No.
Sometimes I got to yell at the high schoolers for language, but other than that, it's almost the same,
Yeah.
Somebody asked me what the difference between coaching girls and boys is like when you tell them, all right, look at me and listen, they will lock right in and look you eye to eye, and they will listen. Like this, Coach, yes, absolutely. Great job. Here we go. Boys, it's, hey, put that down. Be quiet. Don't throw that. All right, everybody outside. Y'all piss me off. Let's go.
I'm laughing at that because of one of our spring breaks, I'm like, why are we throwing tree trunks? Our throwing field backs up to our field. I'm like, why are we throwing tree trunks?
What y'all doing?
Look, woof, and they just see who can throw the. And I'm like, why?
Watch this, coach.
Yeah.
Don't you love it? And I used to get really, really mad at that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's times I just had to stop and think, like, man, I was that age before, and I probably did way dumber stuff than that.
Mm-hmm.
So you doing this little bit,
Hey, a guy that I coached with at Salford, he threw the jab at UL,
Mm-hmm.
and they would drive the throws coach insane because they'd be warming up after they threw their picks. They're trying to catch the javelins on their short throws. They'd stand on the side and start catch the javelin. And like throws coach going nuts. Like, what are y'all doing?
I can only imagine.
And for track, a lot of times, I mean, we get the few kids, but most of the times it's their secondary sport, especially with 200 kids out there. Because I will say most of our athletes across the board are dual sport athletes. We have very few that only play one sport across the board. And for a 5A school,
that's
That's great. Like when I was at Episcopal for those years, I mean, it was, okay, this kid's coming to you for 30 minutes because he's got to go to powerlifting and he's got to go to baseball,
And you've had some, Coach, y'all have had some really, really, really phenomenal track athletes come out as, like Jaden Jackson just last year. We all know her.
Hilton.
Yeah.
Just recently.
Chris Hilton. Yeah, you said Sean Burrell. Just like y'all had some phenomenal track athletes. And be able to balance all that. For not only y'all to get them to that point being multi-sport athletes, but for them to buy in to get to that point.
See, and that's what like we were kind of talking about earlier, Joe, when I said we have 200 kids, and it's hard to keep the young ones engaged and trust the process. But we had a kid, Kenson Tate, who he didn't jump his first varsity meet till his junior year, and he just won the Southland Conference Athlete of the Year as a long jumper. He just bought in, trusted the process. And it's so hard to keep these kids focused,
That is the hardest thing these days for kids. That's why I dislike that there's some sports that make cuts in middle school because you don't ever know what those kids are going to turn into. And some of those kids get cut in 6th grade and lose their love for sports. Like we should be the ones making those cuts in high school.
Yeah.
Not the 6th grade kid who the kid hasn't even hit puberty yet. And now they lose their love for it. Well, then they're walking around the high school at 6'4", and they're like, "Oh no, I don't play sports because I got cut in 6th grade, and I just didn't love it anymore." I hate that but the kids, when you can find those kids that buy into that process and just trust it and then just keep chopping the wood away. They turn into phenomenal kids. That's kind of like the McBride kid for us. Like when he was a sophomore, he was like even as a freshman, he showed flashes of talent. As a sophomore, he was 150 pounds, and he just kept chopping away. By the end of that year, by forcefulness, we had to put him in because we had nobody else. And now look at him. He's taking reps with the ones, and he still should be in high school right now at LSU.
Yeah.
And he was a heck of a triple jumping long jumper too.
Yeah, he was. And that's the kind of stuff. And trying to teach these kids, you're not going to have instant gratification, especially in a sport like track where a lot of these kids aren't coming out until their freshman year, right. And as a throws coach, it's like, it's one of the, take the pole vault out of there. It's probably one of the most technical athletic things you can do.
Oh yeah. All three of them.
Yeah.
All three, I know I tried to do it for a year and I was, and I learned, I did it for 2 years, actually. I did it for a year at Ascension Catholic under Rocky Capello as well. And he taught me a lot, but I wasn't that good. I'm just a football guy going out there. All right, man, I threw discus in high school. I can kind of help you, It's a lot. It's a lot to.
I coach our sprinters, and I go watch our throwers because a lot of them are my big guys. Coach, what did I do wrong? I said, baby, I ain't gonna lie to you because I don't know what to tell you. I wish I knew. I see you could rotate your hip a little bit more right there, but other than that, dog, I don't know. I want to tell you, and the next thing you know, you fall out the ring and scratch.
And people don't realize how much goes into that, into the throws. It's a lot. You need, because do you have an assistant or is it just you?
It's just me.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah,
I usually end up with 40 kids.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's my goal every year. Look, winning state championships, and my goal every year is nobody get hit. Nobody get hit. Nobody gets stabbed. This is the first year so far I haven't had that, or myself get hit.
Fingers crossed.
Because I'm laughing at his story. I mean, why are we throwing the javelins this way at each other? Why?
Yeah.
Why? And then I just go like this. I put my hands up, and they're like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, "Why? Where on our workout sheet does it say throw javelins at each other?"
Why are y'all doing this?
They again, kids, right? They just
Yep, kids.
What's funny to them? So, all right, so you're at Zachary. You're at Episcopal before.
Yep.
Have you been anywhere else? Or is that it?
No. Well, I was at Southeastern.
Well, yeah. So you GA'd.
Yeah.
Now, did you?
Yep.
You coached at Southeastern outside of GA'd, or you just GA'd?
Just GA'd.
Just GA'd. How was that?
I was in the weight room the whole time.
Yeah.
Mike Lucas was there.
Who was the head strength coach?
Scott Reeves.
Okay.
He was at Lamar for a little while, and then he got out of it after I think Southeastern.
Okay.
And then Josh Miller, he was over at Lamar for a while. He was a GA with me. It was a great experience. Growing up, I was always like, I want to be a college strength coach. I always wanted to be a college coach. And my dad, in his infinite amount of wisdom, said, why don't you get a business degree? And then you can add on, or add education, because it's easier to do that than try to get into business with an education degree. So that's what I did. And then I always say I had the ability to try my dream job and be like, you know what? This isn't for me at the college level.
That's and AB did college. You did college for what, AB?
4 years.
4 years. All I did was GA, and I was the same way, coach. I was like, yep, this isn't for me.
Yeah,
man, I'm gonna tell you, I loved it, honestly. But there are some times where there's so much like dead time during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are blowing and going. You're balls to the wall from like 5 a.m. to 11, and then for a couple of hours, that's where you read, that's where you research, you get your workout in, and then the rest of them come in the afternoon. And in football's in season. I had all the girls sports, so I would work out women's basketball while they warmed up football. I'd get done, go in, glad hand, talk to the kids, see how you doing, because your role switches when they're in season. I got you here now. We're keep you healthy now. And you become more mentor, good cop kind of guy, and then you go back in, and for your afternoon groups, we'd have baseball in the afternoon. I'd have the pitchers on the other end, and we may be in there till 7:30. Sometimes 9 o'clock at night. Just depends on how bad the sport pissed, the head coach off. They may call you and be like, "Hey, we're late. Can we still lift?" Sure, coach. Yeah, bring them on. Just make an adjustment tomorrow. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed it. But I mean, I can see where it's that the time that you're there can beat some people up.
Yeah, and at the time I lived in Baton Rouge, so I was leaving my house at like 3:30 in the morning to get there for 4:30. Then it's like you said, we would work out. We were at football and then say softball. And it's like you said, I might have a class or two. Then what am I doing for 6 hours? I live far enough away where it doesn't make sense to
go all the way home to come on.
Yeah, not going home. No.
Yeah.
No.
And
what was that?
Oh, no, I was going to say, and really I had my son at that point. And at that time, the only way you can move up in the world in collegiate athletics is by moving and going to different schools. And so
worry about job security.
Yep.
I swear that the more secure position at that college level is to be on the Olympic side.
Mm-hmm.
Your job is not justified by if the head football coach is bad or not, or if he goes.
Which is crazy.
It's insane.
Coach Moffitt made it through 3. When you talk about
shows you how good he is.
People that the longevity of that doesn't happen. I mean, he made it through 3 head coaches in his tenure at LSU. I mean, that's that's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Like Hester at Tulane, he could have stayed at Tulane if he wanted to. He chose to leave to go follow Coach Fritz. So it's a lot. No, it's all good. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. So, all right, you talked a little bit about your kids. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's who's FaceTiming me. No, but I was going to say the coolest thing, this is the last thing about Southeastern, I promise though. The coolest thing that I got to experience and took away from there is my first month there was when they transitioned from the old shoddy gym into the brand new building. So even when I go over there now, I'm like, I moved every single weight in this weight room. And they're like, yeah, you did, you did. I'm like, no, I promise you, you know.
That's awesome.
Single weight in the back of my pickup truck and Scott's pickup truck.
And now look at them. They got turf, and they got. I mean, Southeastern's doing some big things.
We used to run them on the grass field out there with the old 3-lane track.
Yeah,
Coach. I had a similar situation in McNeese. When I got there, they were building the new weight room over there, and it's a big, beautiful room. But we were in this portable building that was pretty big, and I remember the guy that hired me, Zeb. He had to go meet with somebody. He goes, "Hey, man, I hate to do this to you, cuz, but I need you to take apart every rack and like move all the way." And it was those old Body Master, the big giant. I swear to God, they were 12 feet tall. You know, take apart all the Body Masters. You know, save all the bolts and everything. Put all the weights to the side. 3 hours later, he comes back, and I'm just standing there. I'm covered in rust and just gym dust. He goes, "You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I need to go home, cuz. Let me go home for the day." Well, we got to move all this stuff. We'll move it tomorrow.
Yeah.
You've been gone, enjoying yourself.
Not today, man. Not today.
And they had 38,000 screws and nuts, bolts.
Oh yeah. It gives you appreciation for those crews that come in and set up weight rooms.
Oh yeah, the Sornex people that come in and do it. Like,
it's impressive.
Kudos to them.
Oh yeah.
You know, kudos to them. So look, you talked about your kids, you talked about your time, Zachary, Southeastern, all that. How do you balance all that? Like, I mean, you said one of your daughters
has to
practice 4 days a week.
Yeah. So my typical Monday through Friday is I'll leave my house about 5:30, get up to Zachary. Well, no, 5:30, and then I'll take my kids to school, do all that, get this work. That's why I say, like, teaching time, PE time is my downtime, because I go practice from 2:30 to 4:30, and then if I walk in my house by 9 o'clock, it's a good night. Because I mean, this year I'm hoping it'll be different because my son's coming to Zachary. He's in high school. He'll be in high school, so we're hoping that eases some of it. But y'all, it's a lot. Like cheerleading every night. Then we got jujitsu every night, judo from 5:15 to 7:30. And then Cameron has lifting 2 days a week. He throws 2 to 3 days a week. Catherine throws 2 days a week. It's a lot. It's a lot.
And it's not like those are long enough times where you can go home. Like, you just kind of got to hang out or like find something to do or like, that's rough.
Yeah.
You bring the laptop with you or anything? You get any work done while at practice or what? Or you just
sometimes. A lot of times I like watching. Because I'll tell you and I think I've told Joe this a few times over the year. Years ago, when my 3 were little, there's a guy who's a phenomenal coach, John Talley. He's probably one of the best technical coaches in the entire state, and just a great guy. He told me, he gave me 2 things, best 2 advices. First one was, don't coach other people's kids while you're missing your own kids' stuff. He used different terminology, but that was the general sense of it. And be intentional when you're with your kids, because as a coach, you pour yourself so much into other kids, which is part of the profession. But when I'm watching my kids' stuff, there's nothing more heartbreaking to me than watching and looking around at all the other parents on their phones or doing this and watching their kids constantly look up, trying to get their attention.
Yep. That's the worst. The absolute
worst.
Yeah. And I never wanted to be a dad that coached their kid, but like I fell into it with Patrick's T-ball team, and it's like, but then I look at some of the other parents and I'm like, you're on your phone the whole time, or you're not even, you drop them off and leave. Like they're 4 and 5 years old. Like, be there. Like, they're gonna fall in love with it quicker. Trust me.
Yep. Yeah. See, and that's gonna be one thing that's interesting, because I coach Cameron now, but like in an actual athletic setting. Because he would weight lift with us and work out, and then at a certain point we're like, you know what? It's kind of like what you were saying, Joe. We're like, you're gonna go see Tommy for the next 2 years. So he's been working out with Tommy Byers, and Catherine's starting, because at a certain point, there's too many hats.
Yeah. When there's that many, and then I've seen with some of those kids, like the voices, like they get so many, like you said, so many hats. The voices in their head, you can tell that they're they're listening to this person who might be mom and dad. They're listening to coach. They're listening to this one, that one, this one, and it ends up getting them at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, I love Tommy. Tommy's a great guy. I coached his son Hudson this year.
Oh, yeah.
Past 2 years, and he's actually having his signing day this week.
Yeah, I've known Tommy 20 years now, since LSU days.
Yeah, Tommy's a great guy.
He's one of the guys we trust them with, you know.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law asked me at Will was playing soccer, and I was kind of off in the corner. I was watching, but I was standing there, arms folded, coaching stance, and she goes, "You got to get out of your coaching mode." And I said, "Look, I'm actually just watching. He has coaches on the field. This is not coach mode. This is observing mode. Because if I go out there, we're all running. So I'm turning it off. You know what I mean? Just let me stand over here and watch my children."
Yeah.
So go ahead.
What you got, Jim? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go.
Well, I'm looking at our thing now, and look, you sent me some stuff, and like 2 or 3 of the questions got me all fired up. So I'm ready to dive in on.
Well, there was one that you kind of touched on, but I'm going to go back to it real quick. It's about you're a primary track and field coach. Athletes from other sports like football, baseball, or football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, whatever. Why should they participate? Like, why should that be a second sport? Why should because you don't see a ton of multi-sport athletes anymore. Like, and I hate it. Like, kids want to specialize and do all this stuff and train year round for certain sports. And it's like the thing that's going to get you the best at that sport is playing another sport.
Yep. And you see that I always laugh because every year Tim Lager, I'm probably saying his name wrong, the ULL football coach, he puts out a statistic every year, and he laughs because every year I comment on it. He says, "I'm just looking forward to your comment about track and field and how many guys in the NFL have participated in high school track and field." And the numbers are astronomical.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we get so many kids, because but I will tell you, there's a difference between like a knowledgeable track and field coach, like, because we're getting our kids faster, we're getting them more athletic, because we touch on every aspect there in practice. It's not just, line up and go do 4 100s. We work on agility, we work on flexibility, we do all of that stuff there in practice, and I think that it just benefits the whole athletic department,
And like you said, there's a right and a wrong way to do it.
Yes. There is, because you see some stuff at some meets and I'm like, can I tell them the javelins backwards or no? Y'all are laughing, but I promise you, I'll tell you what school once we're off the air.
Okay.
Okay.
I've seen a few stories. I've seen not stories, but I've seen like teams show up with like the girl shot put before. Males. I've seen that happen.
It is wild, y'all. Some of the stuff these guys try to get away with. And I will tell you, in my 20 years of coaching, and this is a great thing, I've only ran into one coach who is the most narcissistic person, we'll say kindly, I've ever met in my life. I'm like, dude, you're throwing a 6-pound shot put.
Yeah.
Can you tell? I'm like, it's an easy fix. Hold both of them.
We'll start with one smaller.
Yeah.
It's smaller. And I can tell.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been doing this a while.
Done this long enough to tell that that's not the right shot that you're supposed to use.
I just think, look, I've held women basketball season tickets at LSU for years now, but what kills me is when and Shaq says Angel Reese is the best athlete, and go to that track, those jumpers, those sprinters, those multi-eventers are the best athletes on that campus, and I will die on that hill.
Okay, just because I coached against him and you coached him, Sean Burrell, that kid's a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
Because he probably could have done everything in high school, right?
Yep. And I will tell you, he is one of the greatest kids you will ever meet. Both he and Chris Hilton, at the end of the track meets, they would be around picking up trash. Yeah. Like, those are just 2 kids that once in a generation talent, but they had the personality and just great humans. That's what I said. They were just great humans, and that's a testament to how their parents raised them, but just great people.
Yeah. That kid, the Burrell kid, Amy, I don't know if you know him. Like, this is a kid, like,
the name sounds familiar.
You get fired if you kick the ball to him.
Yeah.
Like he's that. I mean, like when I tell you that kid, he touches it, he's taking it to the house. Like
He's
unreal.
won 3 national championships in the hurdles. He's a senior this year.
Yeah.
Really?
But I mean, same thing with Chris. I mean, Chris ran 46 or 47 high in the 400, high jump 7 foot.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And
And
don't kick it to that guy.
Don't kick it to him either.
no, he was phenomenal as well. All right, so look, I know you're an assistant coach, but
Yes.
this all falls in. I mean, this is because track and field is his thing as well.
Yeah.
Like you said, you have about 40 kids there. You're kind of on your own. Talk about your philosophy, your standards. Are you a coach's coach, player's coach? I mean, like, do you think you're a little bit both?
I used to be okay. So as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little soft, as we all do.
Absolutely.
And like I said, every time those kids cycle through, you kind of have to change. You find what works year to year. And like I said, for 95% of my kids, especially my boys, 100% of my boys, track is their secondary sport. And I'm like, you can laugh at practice. You can have fun. Like I know this is my thing is I'm like, this isn't football. We can, joke around, you can bring snacks. Cause let me tell you, if you want young boys to buy in, bring snacks, candy. And that's one of the things as the younger kids come through that I try to gap really young because I am a female and I am dealing with adolescent boys that are typical, always coached by males. I would like to say I'm a player's coach. Now I hold them to the standard. I don't yell. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. My kids would say that. I yell very infrequently. And I don't yell in front of, if I need to get on to them, I'll pull them aside. I'm not one that tries to embarrass kids. But I hold them to the standard. Like I'm not going to say my second rule, but my one rule is just show up every day, work hard, and do what I ask. And we're going to have a great time. Yeah. And and Joe, you've known me for years. I'm not one of these people that tout, oh, I've done this, I've done that. That's why we were laughing because you read all that. And I'm like, who is this woman?
Well, like I didn't know all that stuff, to be honest with you, before I kind of was putting it all together. I'm like, I just know you as you, like I know you've had a lot of success, but I didn't know like all the, especially, I knew you through to LSU. I didn't know, and that's all. I mean, but that, I guess that was kind of my comment at the beginning is you can have all that to your name and still be able to, hey, I'm a first and second grade PE teacher and I love it. Yeah. And I love it. Yeah, no.
Yeah. And I try to keep it fun because now these kids are under so much pressure. They get pressure from every direction and they're squeezed so tight. And, I don't know if it's after, I hate the term after COVID, before COVID, all this, but they're like on a 90 all the time. And it feels like one thing is going to blow them apart,
mm-hmm.
So I mean, don't get me wrong. We work our butts off for 2 hours, but I've changed my philosophy. Instead of having on their thing, say we're going to do at the end, 8 by 40 meter sprints. Okay. If you put on a paper, as y'all know now, like I said, it's a different mentality. If they have 8 by 40 meter sprints and I say, all right, line up on the goal line, they're like, oh, all right, you know what? We're going to have relay races, and then you turn in front. Okay. Reaction sprint, sit on your butt, lay on your belly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After 4, if you win one, you can skip the next one. And then and then I pull out the gummy bears and then it's like, they're crazy.
It's all on.
Then it is on.
I did that in the weight room. I was giving them gummy worms every time they got it. Like if they got like their second attempt, like in meat prep, I'd give them a gummy worm. Lost their minds. I mean, just lost their minds.
It's crazy what snacks and a t-shirt will do.
Oh, I'll do anything for a t-shirt. You want me to go work 12-hour meat? I'll go for a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Absolutely.
Yep. And the other one I love, Joe, and I'm interrupted, but I want to touch on this so much, is the one where you asked, do I feel like you need to be have a CSCS certification to be effective?
So that's what I was going to ask you.
I wanted to know.
Yep, that's what I was going to, because you are CSCS certified,
and
I
had it done when I was at Southeastern, which is funny because I actually re-looked up my score because I want to be like, I want to make sure, I say the right things, and I actually wrote it down. So it was like 68% of people pass the scientific formation or foundation the first time, but actually failed the application. And I was actually the opposite because, as you know, I think me and you were laughing one time last year where I was like, I have a question about something about Moffitt. And you're like, oh yeah. And I was like, well, I'm just going to text them. Like I'm that person. Like if I got a question about something and I have access to you, I probably don't go the proper chain I need to, but I'm going to ask the source.
Yeah.
No,
and that's exactly how I am. Like I don't have a CSCS.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of us do. And I know it's the gold standard, like the question I asked. It's the gold standard, it's what everybody wants, it's all that, but I can't pass a damn test.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Three times. 1 point every time.
And it's
both sections, or which one are you failing?
Scientific part.
Scientific.
It's the scientific.
I don't know if it's a test taking thing or it's the fact that I'm older and out of that mindset of like, if I'd have done it probably as soon as I got done playing, it probably would have been easier. Like I'm taking the LHSAA their course right now, and I think it's awesome because the CSCS is just, hey, here's a book, study, take the test. With their course, there's 43 chapters, 12 units. You actually read through everything. You take a quiz, you do a case study. Like it actually, like you learn it. And not to say that the CSCS, I think it's different than what it once was or what it set out to be.
That you touched on it now, because when I was at Southeastern and Lucas and Scott at the time were like, is this something you want to do? Continue doing? I was like, yeah. We're like, well, if you want to be a college strength coach, you need this.
Right.
You need this. And that was kind of what I was told. And look, I failed it. I was counting down those 30 days till I could retake it again.
And that's the other thing is money.
Yes.
That thing is not cheap.
No, it was, I want to say it was like $435 the first time I took it.
It's like
they paid for the first round, and then I had to pay after I had failed it.
And you have to join the NSCA to take it, which is another $150. So
no, I am a resounding 1000% no. You do not need it. And I think like when I took it in the early 2000s, even though I feel like I'm aging myself now, the resources were not readily as available. It wasn't like we couldn't even do this. The thought of hopping on and asking questions and shooting, ideas and throwing things off instantly was not even. It was just coming out.
Yeah, and I think that's what has sped it along a lot. Is that I know a lot of really, really good coaches without them, and I know a lot of really, really bad coaches with them. Certifications wise, I mean, it's just, to me, it's all about, can you command the room? Can you get kids better at their craft? And are you keeping kids safe?
Yep.
And really, that's what it, have it, don't have it. I mean, that's kind of what it. And AB and I have talked about this. Like, I still want to get it just to say I did, but it's not priority number one right now.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's almost like I'm not going to let the test beat me. I'm going to pass it. I just don't. I need to sit down and study that big, expensive book I just showed the camera. But
yeah. Well, see, and it's kind of like what Joe was saying. When I took the test, I was going through all those biomechanical classes, motor learning.
Yes.
And I had Scott there, and I would ask him questions about it. So it's kind of like you were saying. I was absorbed by it all at that time.
Yeah, and if I'd have done it immediately, I think I'd have had a lot better chance than trying to go back retroactively 15 years after graduating college to try and figure this thing out.
Yeah, because a lot of the questions are you would think they're basic knowledge. Like if you go back and it's not basic knowledge, but it's like those. They're like some of the practical ones where like, okay, where's the shoulders open when you're gripping a snatch? That's the easy stuff. But then it'll be like, okay, the mitochondria B is, this athlete A drank Gatorade with half the electrical, and it's like, dude, like
I don't know.
I don't know. That's what the trainers are for. No. No. So I don't think it's a gold standard. I have it because they paid for it and I passed it. But if I hadn't passed it that second time with the application part, I probably would have never taken a third time.
Well, this is going to be right on that subject. Do you miss being in the weight room?
Yes. Yeah, I do. But I love my little kids, y'all. Like, it would be hard pressed. I mean, Joan, you and I talked about this. Yes, I do. But I love my job. I love because we have a new guy that's in the gym with us. He coaches baseball, and his first time ever teaching, ever coaching. And I told him the story. I said, Sam, I said, I have won a state championship on Saturday. I said, and then I show up at 8 a.m. on Monday morning, and those kids don't care. They just want to know if we're playing gaga ball or we're playing hula hoop. I said, and we've scored 1 point at the state championship on a Saturday and got dead last. I said, and you know what those kids asked me on Monday? Are we playing gaga ball or building up hula hoops? I think, and that's what I love about it. It keeps not grounded, but it keeps things in perspective, y'all.
Absolutely. You don't have to constantly worry about it.
No.
Like you're constantly, that is one of the downfalls. I love being in the weight room, but it's kind of like, are these kids good enough to where I'm going to keep my job? It's kind of the at times thought, like, am I getting them good enough? Or like, we maxed out right before break, and like we started doing maxes, and the kids are like real slow at the beginning, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, did we just waste 8 weeks? Or did we just waste 12 weeks or whatever it was? It's like, I'm about to get fired. Like, here we go. Like, and they kind of, I love the pressure, but at the same time, that does sound awesome that you don't have to go back and worry about, they just want to know, are we playing today? Like,
what are we playing today? Are we playing Steal the Bacon? Are we playing? I'm big on old school games, like PE games that we played growing up. The kids love it.
Yeah, no, and they don't do that anymore.
No, they don't. They don't play.
They don't. That's, I ask my kids all the time, what'd y'all play today? Oh, nothing. We just did this. Or like, I don't even know what that is. Did that. Like, I don't even know.
Now, I do think, and like I said, you and I have talked about this, I think, last week. I think there needs to be more weight rooms with 2 people in it.
Yes.
That's almost a must.
It's almost to the point where it's a must, especially this year or 3 years ago, right after COVID was the first year we've gotten track in the weight room. And I mean, our kids have grown leaps and bounds. Yeah. And even if you rotate the schedule, one group is out, one group is in, it's a lot for one person.
We so right now, like, we started track in the weight room this year for the first time. I have track, cross country, and softball in there, and it's a class that goes from 1 o'clock till 2:35.
That's right, y'all are on block.
At 1:50, I try and have those 3 groups done by 1:50, so volleyball can come in for the last 40 minutes of class. Just because, and it's a lot. Like, thankfully, most of those coaches try and stay in there, at least one from each sport, but it's to have somebody else in there that I can lean on in the sense of, not saying they don't know, they're learning, but that knows what's going on.
That you feel comfortable leaving for 5 minutes.
Correct. Like, I don't, there's days where I don't even feel like I can take a day off of work because I don't feel comfortable leaving. Yeah.
See that. God, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Joe. That's not a knock on your coaches either.
No, it's not.
Like, I don't like leaving my room. I'll like when I had to, like leave the workouts and everything. But I'm like, did they warm up right? Did they put this in the right spot? Did they activate their lats when they're I want it done right.
Yep.
Because when you have that kids in there, it's so easy to get sloppy, especially that age group.
It's so hard to watch everything. Like, gosh, so hard. Look, we know you have something going on. I'm asking you one more question. That's all.
Yeah, no, you got time.
Okay, this is a big one.
This is a big one. Okay, okay.
That we often talk about, and you have the luxury of being able to see kids from other sports and different genders and all that. So, as a coach, what's your opinion on the current state and direction of athletics as a whole? Youth sports, you have kids in youth sports, you have kids that travel for the cheer, high school sports, collegiate, the pro. I mean, the college game has changed a lot, even since the 3 of us were a part of it. I mean, it's changed a whole lot. What's your opinion?
Oh, Joe, we're going to be here for another 3 hours.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to say I am forever grateful that my kids do not play baseball or softball. If they wanted to, definitely 100%. And look, we tried that at Streamer League, and I have pictures of them all sleeping on the ground. Like, they were like, this ain't for me. What scares me the most about, I know you didn't say what's scary to me is the untrained, uneducated people out there that are getting these, you see it all the time on Instagram or on Facebook. They're charging these people $60 a session for an hour, and they're doing ladder drills.
Yes.
I think it has blown up. And like I said, I'm going to tell you a quick story. I know where John Talley, probably one of the greatest throws coaches in the country. And that's not saying something. He was watching a little kid throw, and he offered to the mom. He said, "Hey, this is when he was at Touchdown." He said, "Hey, let me work with him on Sundays." And the mom's like, "Well, how much is it going to cost?" He's like, "Nothing. I got a group. He'll come through the high school." And the mom took him to a different guru, we'll say, that was charging her because she didn't trust, because he was going to do it for free in his skills.
Isn't that pitiful? It
is like, so I have a strong opinion on it. Now, fortunately for me, my sport, throwing, track, but especially throwing, it's such a niche thing, and there's very few of us that know and can coach it correctly. But these speed gurus, y'all, and this guru, that guru, I'm always like, damn, like, why are we not doing this? Like, I could quit coaching, I could quit teaching, and just be a guru all day. Put these fancy things on Instagram, y'all. Some of these things, I'm like,
Joe, how do you get faster?
Run fast.
Run fast, get strong, and run fast.
Yeah.
And that's what, God, we've had this conversation so many times, but like, it is unreal. I see these fly-by-night guys and gals pop up all the time. And it's like these, like you said, and that's a perfect way to explain it. People go to them because they think because it costs money, it's going to be productive.
Yeah.
I've seen so many kids go to these people and get slower.
Yeah.
Because standing in the same spot on a ladder isn't getting you faster.
No.
Sorry, it's not. We use the ladder, but it's just for joint dexterity. That's and it just a general warm up too. And it's 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And we don't. I mean, and I teach high knees in the ladder.
Yeah. I'm not dogging the ladder. We do it too, but I'm saying these.
But we don't get faster in the ladder.
No.
Yeah.
We don't get faster in the ladder. I'm sorry. So world, you cannot get faster in the speed ladder. I'm sorry.
And the thing is too, with some of these people, these gurus out there, is they only want to work with the best who already have a foundation of being the best.
They want that jersey on the gym wall.
And then once they get them and work with them for a little while, and like they don't get like you said earlier, most of the kids y'all get in track have never really done track before till they get to high school. They don't get that kid they can't make a full lap, can't make a full 400 meters around the track their first time, and then by the end they're running the 1600 meter.
Yeah.
They don't get that. No. Like
this is my standard. You have to be an All-American standard to be on my team. And then all of a sudden I've coached 62 All-Americans. Well, if your standard is a 53-400, of course you're going to have all these kids. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I know this is totally off base, but this kind of goes with that. My greatest accomplishment as a coach, okay, I've been coaching for 16 years now. My greatest accomplishment is I had a kid at Episcopal, okay. It's not about him, but I had a 54-foot shot put in Tyler Harris. He ended up playing at Wake Forest and the Seahawks. His brother's Christian Harris, so really good genetics. And then I had a kid in that same year named Robert. Okay, he came out 4 years, and his goal was to throw 30 feet in the shot put. And then he finally did it his last meet his senior year, and we celebrated like he just broke a world record. And that is my greatest coaching accomplishment.
That's awesome.
Just the pure joy, and it's things like that, and that's what I love about
those are the paycheck. Those are the paychecks.
Yes.
That's what we talk about all the time. Is like that's the paycheck. Like getting recognition, and I mean, you were the coach of the year last year. You would never even. I mean, like
that's because the kid kind of wiped macaroni on me and then told me he threw up right after. But y'all, I'm telling you, these kids will humble you. Like they will literally walk up to you and be like, and they'll pull on you, and we could be talking, they just tap, and you'll be like, yes. You have a booger in your nose, and you're like, thanks, y'all.
Thanks for letting me know.
The brutal honesty is my favorite,
isn't it? They're so transparent. Absolutely. But yes, it's such that, and like you said, the travel ball thing.
Oh,
I don't care what you did at the Jose Canseco World Series when there's the Mark McGuire World Series going on in the next city, and then this one. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm just misinformed. But growing up, there was one Little League World Series.
There was.
And it was played in Pennsylvania, and that was it. And now I'm like, you see these, like, I have a strong disdain for Facebook Monday morning. Because I'm like, okay, so how do I have 37 World Series champions on a random day?
The rings are what really get me.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, so when I left Ascension Catholic, we won a state championship when I left. We won 3 in a row, but we won one when I left in powerlifting. And I told myself, I was like, this might be the last year I win one. Like, I'm going to 5A where it's not guaranteed every year you're going to win one.
Yeah.
And, like, these kids just walk away with the rings every weekend, and then they expect that when they get to school.
Well, that's the problem. It takes something away from it.
Yes.
It absolutely does.
You know.
Absolutely.
It takes the hard work and the allure of it away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that ring's probably $3.50.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a piece of plastic.
Yep. Like that's the other thing. Like I got look, and Joe will tell you, I'm probably one of the most humble people. I try and pride myself on humility. I got a closet full of 2 national championship rings, an SEC championship ring, boatload of. They stay in my closet. You know.
Yeah.
They're great and everything, but
I don't know where my conference rings are from college.
yeah.
Like, I've got some awards from when I was a college strength coach from my teams, you know.
Yep.
I don't. I just want. Are we doing the right thing when we come in the room?
Look. At the end of the day, my goal in 4 years, did you leave a better person than you came?
Yeah.
You know.
And for me as a coach, that I make you that I make this place better, and that I make you a better person.
Yep.
And that's really what matters. I love seeing the kids come back.
I do too.
Yes, there's nothing better.
Or like we were talking about earlier, like when I said that I did middle school for a year, those 7th and 8th graders, those kids are like married with kids now and have real jobs, and some of them are coaching and some of them are teaching. It's just like, all right, man, that's what
I'm starting to see
That's what
kids
matters.
my first job, they've got kids going into high school now, which is just, it's blasting me. It's like hitting me in the heart. I'm like, oh my God. I don't want to be 44 anymore. Especially after Thursday. I had a needle jammed in my knee. So, you know, just so the arthritis will go away.
But it's so rewarding. Like the championships are great, but like I said, you know, Monday morning I go to work, those kids don't care.
No.
You know, they just want to give me a hug and get a lollipop.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh,
I've heard that about elementary kids. They're just they're loving little creatures.
oh, they do.
They're the best. You know,
They are. If you ever have a chance to, you need to go teach 1st and 2nd grade PE. It is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. You know, and they're so grateful. No matter what you do, the littlest things, they are so grateful for you.
That's awesome. And where does that go when they get in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it goes
they lose it in middle school.
Goes to the rings.
It goes to the rings.
It's
Yes.
to the rings. Well, what else we got, Joe?
That's really about it. You touched on a lot, Coach, in a short amount of
you did
time.
great,
That
Coach.
was
Like a lot. Look, that's what I said. I could talk for 4 or 5 hours.
Coach, us too.
yeah, you touched on a lot in a short amount of time. That was real bang.
Yeah.
When's y'all's next thing? When's y'all's next meet?
Thursday at Santa Ma.
Oh, sweet. I might be able to
Yes.
stop by that one. I'm right there.
With see, and that's the other thing I love about track is, especially with the throws, we're like one giant community. You know, I'm working the meet at Santa Ma, whereas Betsy helped me work the meet at our place. You know, it's and you know what, and they have really good concession stands at Santa Ma.
They really do. The food is awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I look forward to. We have my kids. We call it PR parties, and if you get a PR at a meet, you actually get something from the concession stand.
Oh,
So they are big on that.
and that meets well run.
Yes.
Coach,
Yes.
I'm gonna steal that one from you.
PR parties.
PR party.
Oh,
I'm stealing
yeah, but
that.
you ready for this one? Then we have this other thing. This is what you got to do when you teach all right, coach, we call them winter wings. You're like, oh, I hear you. Oh, I hear you. What's that? My winter wings. The winter.
I like that.
Every once in a while, like the kids get comfortable and then they start talking crap to me. And I'm like, look, I am a 37-year-old female. I get it. I could still get you. So every once in a while, I got to go show them. Shot and disc is a javelin. I'll come out there and I'm like, what's that? Oh, my winter wings.
Still go out there and crank one, can't you?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
What was your, I know you know, what was your college PR or PR?
My college PR was 52-35, like mid 170s, high 170s.
Damn.
I had torn my patella, so that kind of put a damper on everything.
Yeah. Do you remember?
Let me say I had a lot of fun in college.
As did we all.
Yeah, if I could go back, people ask me all the time, especially when they see me now. They're like, we can't believe you're the same person. I don't think I would change anything because I have those memories. Athletically, I could have been a lot better, taking care of myself and doing the right thing. We'll just say, but I had a lot of fun, y'all.
Yeah, it's Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and look, and we'd be spring break a week in Miami or Austin.
Oh, yeah.
And then again, like AB said, it is Baton Rouge.
It is Baton Rouge. It was Baton Rouge in the early 2000s.
I had a very good friend go to LSU, and he came back after 1 year. He's back in McNeese with me.
Yeah,
like he had a hell of a time.
It was fun. It was a lot. Look, I'll tell you, I actually lost my academic scholarship after my freshman year. I tell y'all,
I was on academic probation after my freshman year.
Yep.
It's just part of it. And I was in a small town. I can't imagine being in like at LSU or UT or Alabama.
From New Jersey with no parents, no supervision. I was like,
yep. I was in freaking Arkansas, Monticello, and I did that.
We used to tell recruits they'd come, like we'd bring them on trips, and like, man, campus is just not like. Just wait, dog. Give it about 3 hours. We're going to show you why you need to come here. We'd show him conference championship rings, and we'd take them to Cowboys 2 nights in a row. And I get to do this every weekend.
Yep.
That's what McNeese was
what we do. Oh yeah,
because Coach played with JD over there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
JD's
my God,
a good friend of mine,
man.
man.
He is a phenomenal coach. He is a better dude.
Hey, when we played Miami in 2000. When everybody talks about the 01 Miami team, it was 2000 that was better than him. Coach Davis, he got after Vince Wilfork. And look, Vince was tearing people's heads off, and Jason Davis got after it. So that's probably one of the best linemen I've ever.
An hour talking about him. He is a great guy, and we work so close together because essentially the whole offensive linemen are my throwers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I love being around him and just talking to him. Yeah. So humble and just when he speaks, he doesn't speak often, but when he does, it's meaningful and it means something. And I love him. Yeah,
he was like that as a player too. Even in college, he was old beyond his age.
And just the way he carries himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just very, very on another level.
Yeah,
that's what I love about him. He's been there forever, huh? He's been Zachary for.
I think he was there before we even split apart.
Yeah, he probably was with
before Brew was even there.
Yeah, I think he was there. We went with Bob Howell. I'm pretty sure.
Bob Howell, because Bob called me after he signed Jason. Yeah, he wanted me to come over and coach the D line, and already signed paperwork at Sulphur.
What could have been?
Yeah,
what could have been?
You could have been in this area, Coach.
Coach, hey.
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
I'm trying to get him to move over here.
Just call me, fool. We got to find Lena somewhere too.
Yeah,
she does very well over here. She's a nurse practitioner. So,
so look, this is something we do at the end of every time. All right, these are rapid fire questions. It's nothing crazy. It's just stuff like a lot of it's like food stuff or drink, like Powerade, Gatorade question, or just things like that. Nothing crazy. We just
crazy.
We just like to get a different perspective for everyone.
Okay.
All right. So I'll go with one first. Your favorite road trip food?
Oh, my favorite nerd clusters.
Oh, I do love nerd clusters.
Nerd clusters,
Hey,
and
I
that
can
is
eat 2 whole bags.
by Red Bull. Otherwise, I
Red
take
Bull?
caffeine pills. So I get Red Bull and nerd clusters.
Oh man, nerd clusters are awesome.
Those
Yes,
are
They really are. Like
yeah.
I always forget about those. They really
Yeah.
are awesome. All right, Billy's Boudin. You know what I'm talking about in Scott, okay, or Krause Springs. What you getting?
That's a hard one. That's not a rapid fire one. Just probably Boudin, regular Boudin.
regular
I'm
Boudin.
not, look, y'all, I am not a big Boudin fan. I love Louisiana food, but give me a New Jersey pizza pie.
How is okay? I do want to ask you this because you brought up New Jersey again. What is like the shore like? Like what?
Oh my gosh!
Like
okay. Well, I went to high school with Sammy Sweetheart, and
did you?
You really?
Once again, I'm aging myself. We played soccer together. Most of the time when you see reality shows, people are like, oh, that was not what it's like. That was not true. That's not real. That is reality. That is 100% on how I grew up. I grew up right there too. So it was like, y'all, I'll have to wait till it goes off, but y'all, I had a very fun high school life.
I can imagine. It's right there.
It was great.
All right. I can imagine. Crawfish.
Crawfish. I'm a huge crawfish fan.
All right. Soaked crawfish or dust crawfish?
What's the difference?
Dust is like where they put all the seasoning on the outside.
Oh, soaked. I like
soaked. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I like when I suck the head and I get it all out.
Yeah. All the fat and all the brains and all that stuff. All right. Here's a good one. Gatorade, Powerade.
Actually, neither. Body Armor.
Body Armor.
More person. I guess who is it? Gatorade makes it.
I don't know who makes that.
This was on sale at Carter, so that's why I got it. I don't discriminate. I'll drink anything.
Okay. AB, you got a few?
Actually, man, you hit a bunch of them. I was okay. Let me see. Laptop or iPad when you're breaking down film or anything on a road trip.
Laptop.
Earbuds or AirPods?
I'm a laptop person.
Earbuds or headphones?
Neither.
Really. Just turn the volume all the way up.
Turn my volume up. If you don't like it, I'm sorry.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Now on a plane, look, y'all, when I'm on a plane, I have to use the cheap ones because I don't have any.
Yeah. I got
you know, even like Joe, when he sees me walking or running around Denham, like I just have my music blasting on my phone. If you don't like it, don't listen to it.
Yep.
I was gonna ask you, but I think you already answered. Nerd ropes or nerd clusters. You like the nerd clusters?
Nerd cluster. Well, it depends my mood. The problem with nerd ropes is my hands are always so dirty that the nerd clusters, I can just turn the bag upside down and eat them. Yeah. The nerd ropes are just kind of.
So when you were competing, what was your favorite meat snack? Like what did you like to eat during the meet?
Hamburgers.
Okay.
Hamburgers. But you also have to understand, like as a thrower, I mean, we were only on for about 30 minutes. Like our event lasted only about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You just kind of supported everyone else.
Yeah.
How was that? How were road trips like that back then?
Oh my!
I don't want to say back then, but like
I thank God every day we did not have social media. There's no social media, and there were none of these. You couldn't take pictures. I had to go take it with my Kodak instant camera. Like I have an album out there, and I'm like, I thank God every day for no social media because I would have been.
That or the Life 360 that people have these days, where they follow each other. I'm like, yeah, y'all wouldn't even know who I am today.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and the funniest thing is, you know, especially because all of us are around the same age, is like where you grow up. We grew up before technology, and now we're really in the midst of it all. And it's like the best part is like I'll look at people that were either on the team with me or associated with the team, and I'm like, that's what you do now? Like you're in charge of like a multi-million-dollar company. You're like,
that's probably
like sneak us in beer. Like now you're in charge of all this.
That's probably how people are to me. They're like, there's no way this guy's a coach now or a teacher. Like
if these were around, it's
thank
God. Like I'd still be I'd still be in school, either that or just getting out of jail.
I'd probably be in jail. I was just going to say, y'all.
Lake Charles is wild. Lake Charles used to be wild, and it's still kind of crazy. But like we're like college athletes, it's wild around here.
Yeah. I have this. This is my last story, and this is probably way not okay, but I'm going to tell it anyway. I'm going to give you all the PG-13 version. I had a professor my freshman year, Dr. Susan or something. He was the biology professor, department head. And I mean, it was in the Cox building. It was in a class of literally 1,000 kids took the class at a time. And I'd go see him once in a while, but never like a personal relationship. Years later, I was in the indoor track and he's running. He was a big time runner. And I was just working out and he's staring at me. And I walked over and I said, "Hey, Dr. Susan, Amanda." And he's looking at me. He's like, "Don't take this the wrong way, but I thought you'd be dead by now." I said, "Well, I'm not, and I'm thriving, Coach. I am thriving, Doctor."
Here I am.
Here we are. And I said, "I'm actually a teacher and coach at Episcopal," which blew his mind even more.
Yeah. Well, wait a second. You're at one of the highest tuition schools in Louisiana.
You're in charge of kids?
Yeah. What's your favorite music?
I'm laughing at this. I am a 2000 alternative emo rock. So The Starting Line, Sugar Cult.
Kids laugh at me when I play that album. And when I play that genre, yeah. Incubus is actually okay. We almost bought tickets to an Incubus concert. That's coming up soon.
Punk rock. Real Big Fish. I was big into ska, which I still am. Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Yeah. I have a whole punk rock playlist that the kids just don't.
They don't get it.
Yeah.
And the worst thing that happened today was the Taylor Swift Sirius XM radio. Because now my kid's like, put on. I'm like, I am not a Swiftie.
We're not listening to Tay-Tay, baby.
We're not listening to Taylor. I don't. We're gonna listen to hip hop and grunge.
Yep. That's what my kids are. If you ever catch on Elise, she knows almost every Tupac song, but she also is real big into like Blink-182 and Sum 41 and
Sum 41.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe one of my linemen. He goes, "Coach, turn on Green Day, Brain Stew." I was like, "What?" He goes, "I like that song, Coach." Like, all right.
Now y'all's are a little younger than mine, but have you ever, especially because mine know the lyrics and things now, have you ever been in the middle of listening to a song in the car and it's just too far? Like the other day, I'm just going to say I had Little Kim on and she just came on and it's just going and I can't turn it off because then they want to turn it off. So we're just sitting at the light at Magnolia and Greenville Springs and just Little Kim is going on. I'm like, I want to die right now because I can't turn it off.
Yep, that happens all the time. I'm like,
and my son, I see him turning down the volume on his iPad. I'm like, Cameron, stop.
I love it. I love it. That's all the ones I got, man.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Coach. You're great.
Yeah, you're awesome. This is a great
Okay, here's one for y'all.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Someone finally asked us something.
I know.
Doritos, Cool Ranch, Spicy Nacho, or Original?
Cool Ranch.
Original.
Cool Ranch. Sorry.
Original. No. Dude, Cool Ranch?
Cool Ranch.
Seriously? Original is the best. Now, I will. The only time the Cool Ranch was good is when they had the Cool Ranch taco at Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a blink of an eye, it was gone. They at least longevity, the Doritos Locos tacos lasted forever.
Have you tried the new Taco Bell menu? The Cantina chicken burrito is fantastic.
It's like the healthy menu.
That's my excuse. As I was going to Taco Bell and getting the Cantina.
If I'm going to Taco Bell, I'm getting cheesy Fiesta potatoes. I want that fake cheese. I want roasted potatoes.
I'm a Crunchwrap Supreme guy myself.
Yeah.
That's a pretty solid choice.
Can't go wrong with it. That I used to be the big quesadilla guy, but can't go wrong with the Crunchwrap Supreme.
What was the Grande meal? Remember the Grande meal?
Yeah. Was that the one where you got like 6 tacos, the cinnamon? Remember they had the cinnamon twist things?
You got 6 tacos, 6 burritos, nachos Bel Grande, Mexican pizza. Like I was a connoisseur.
But that was also when you could go to Taco Bell with $10 and get all that.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't spend $10 by yourself at Taco Bell.
One of my crowning moments as a college lineman was me and a buddy split a grande meal, and then 20 minutes later went back and got another grande meal. Like, it was just whichever one of us were sober enough to make it back to Taco Bell.
Dude, I mean,
I was like, Cane's. I went to Cane's and I was like, hey, can I have a box combo? And they're like $17 and your firstborn. I was like, well,
yeah.
for chicken?
No, it's unreal these days. We went to, where'd we go for lunch? We went to Walk-Ons today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Solid.
Which, you know.
I'm not a Walk-Ons food fan.
Me neither, because they grew so fast. The food took a huge hit. Like when they first
in Denham.
Yes.
The walk-ons here are still good, like really good.
Well, like I'll get something I know that's safe. Like I got the buffalo chicken sandwich. Like you can't mess up a buffalo. Like that's pretty safe. Meal. And like I forgot they put 2 chicken breasts on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. You
got to try the buffalo chicken wrap. It's pretty good.
I tried, but the girl was like, "Oh, we're out of wraps." Of course you are. The one thing I want on the menu, you're out of it. It's all right. No big deal.
And you can't go wrong with the large cheese fries there.
The cheese fries are awesome. Even like Betsy got the lemon pepper meal or something. The grilled chicken breast with the cheese, with the corn grits and all that. Like that looked pretty good.
Yeah.
That hangover burger is pretty solid over there too.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one with the egg on it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the seafood part of their menu has gotten they got so big so quick, man, that it's just, in my opinion, just the quality.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, quality took a hit.
I still think the one of the best deals is at Texas Roadhouse, the double pork chop meal. It's $14.
I always forget we have a Texas Roadhouse out here.
Yeah.
We have a Zia's though. That place is awesome.
See, you can't be. I know it's in Watson, so that's kind of far from y'all. But on Tuesday, Casa Maria still has like $1.50 steak fajita tacos.
Really?
Yep. And all you can eat chips.
That was one of my go-to meals in college. Is when I didn't have money, I'd just go to Mexican restaurants and get a Coke and get chips.
Mm-hmm.
Like and just sit there and drink a Coke and chips all night.
Yeah. And another sleep on. I started going there because I go through these phases. Is pizza place up in Watson. Have you ever been there, Joe?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay. They have this new thing on the menu, beignets, and you have to order half cinnamon icing, half powder, and dip the powdered beignets in the cinnamon icing.
That does sound good.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for like a breaded sweet. Like I'm not really like a big chocolate or like candy bar, but like a breaded sweet, like
a bread pudding.
Yes, or like a funnel cake.
Yep.
Oh gosh, like
a big cinnamon roll. I'd crush cinnamon rolls.
Or like Gaddy's.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love pizza, but like Gaddy's freaking the cinnamon sticks or whatever, like unreal. My goodness, I could.
Well, have you seen Subway has like the foot long?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick tricked me into getting one for him.
Is this real life?
And then didn't eat his sub. I was pissed.
That foot long's now $12.
I know. Yeah. Well, okay. Here's the trick. I use the Subway app, and like if y'all are listening right now, if y'all in my app, I'm in you. But I'll use my app because I have very limited time at work to go get food, and if I forget food. And they got promo codes. You just got to type in Subway promo code. So I'll get like a full meal, like a foot long, like cheese and steak or whatever. Put in the promo code, do all that, and it'll only end up being like $4.
See, I need to get into that.
And then it's still, even though you get the like discounts to the promo code, it still gives you reward points. Like you spend a full amount of money. So then like you'll get a free sub a month or something like that. Like it's, I tell everyone about it. Like all the kids on the football team are like, they use the Subway app now.
Yeah. Joe put me on the Subway app game.
Subway. See, coming from the North, look, I'm not a snob about a lot of things.
Yeah, but I would be too if I were you.
Cold cuts and pizza are kind of my snobby things.
Yeah. But it's like Joe and I are from Texas.
Yeah. So barbecue.
Not just barbecue, but like Mexican food.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But this ain't Mexican food over here, dog.
Yeah. There's very few places. Like there's a few out here in Gonzales that are like authentic. Yeah. Or like, do you know that there was a taco truck that used to be kind of right by Magnolia Bridge.
Yes.
Like coming from the high school, going to
Mhm.
Magnolia Bridge, that place, that thing was awesome.
Yeah. Was it the black one or the yellow one?
I think it was the black one for a little while. That and another good Mexican place around here that is Tacos and Beer out in Hammond.
I've never been there.
No, their salsa is like really, and their chips like homemade.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that the name of the place? Tacos
Yeah.
and Beer?
yeah,
Great.
it's pretty cool.
It's great.
And
Pretty
then
cool. Also.
you go to Batter down the road and just really fill up on the bakery goods.
Yeah, yeah. Hammond's another low key, very
Yeah.
very fun
Little
little
town.
town. Yeah, the original La
Tommy's.
Carretas.
Lock Redders, yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy's and Thomas.
Tommy's. Yeah.
But it kind of lost something when it moved. I missed it in the old building where you weren't sure if it was dust or like something else flying into your food.
Yeah. And then I like the sweet sauce, but at the same time, I'm more of an original sauce type of guy.
That taco truck that we ate at in Austin after Will and Annalise's meet was solid.
Yes.
When I looked over and you were eating almost a whole rotisserie chicken.
There ain't nothing wrong with a little Cornish hen, right?
Ain't nothing wrong with a whole chicken, bro.
Yeah.
Because I had enough like burritos to feed all of our families. I was just crushing.
That's what it's about. I'm a foodie, man.
I'm a big foodie fan. I'm a big burger connoisseur. They laugh at me because I pack my food most of the time. They're like, you just eat all day. I'm like, well, don't you eat all day?
Yeah.
Why don't you?
Why don't you?
That's what I got to start getting better. I used to be real good at packing my food,
Yeah.
and then I just kind of.
But like that's the other benefit to being in PE. I mean, I get to practice. I've already probably walked 6 miles.
That is the thing. Like I'm constantly moving.
Yeah.
Like my watch, I have a goal of 10,000 a day.
Yeah.
And I'll hit that by like lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, everything else is laying out.
Yeah.
I got to be a coach.
Yeah. Well,
I taught civics for a year, and it was hard in the classroom.
it is. And you just, I know some coaches that do the bare minimum. They pull out a chair and sit down in the weight room or, do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I couldn't, I constantly move and got to.
Yeah.
Like, I see, and even with our football guys, having as many as we do in there, we're right around 72 now.
Yeah.
A few have quit and stuff, but I see every one of them do a core lift at least.
Mm-hmm.
At least one squat. Or if we're squatting and benching the same day, like at least one squat, at least one bench. I see them all do at least a set just because I'm constantly boom, boom, boom. You got to constantly go around.
Yep.
Yeah, food. That's why I'm disappointed at your Billy's order. Like,
Yeah.
Billy's, the booty and egg rolls. I mean, I could eat that for breakfast.
Eat that for breakfast.
I do eat that for breakfast. I eat red beans and rice. I ate red beans and rice for breakfast today. Like I don't care. It's all food.
Yeah, it's all food. What distinguishes something as a breakfast food and not as a breakfast food?
Other than Waffle House, like
which I think that's why I'm looking at the time. I might end up at Waffle House tonight instead of Nymphos.
We told you.
I'm just picking y'all.
Nymphos, that's not even a place anymore, is it?
No, it's Tio Jave's.
Yeah.
It'll always be Nymphos to me.
Yeah, it'll always be Nymphos to me too.
It'll always be Nymphos.
Yeah, that's right in front of the Crown Plaza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've eaten there a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. AB worked for BSN for a little while.
Oh, yeah?
10 months.
He's like 10 months, 4 days, and 6 hours.
Coach, I if I could sew your uniforms together for you and lovingly package them and bring them to you. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you, Coach. Like, I'm sorry.
Now it's probably before pre-COVID shipping.
That was pre-COVID. I know coaches that just got stuff from before that. Just got their sideline exclusive.
Yeah.
For next season.
For next
season. Fired the head coach, but you can still get your gear for next season.
You can still have that. Yeah. You still have your vest, your hooded vest.
I have a bunch of those actually.
Your bubble jacket.
Yeah, your $150 bubble jacket.
Jeez, y'all.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, as Joe, he'd look up in the stands, and I'd be drinking my Coke, and I'd eat my nachos or French fries, That's my only complaint about Denim is their French fries at the concession stand. You get like 12.
Really?
Get it together.
$6 for like 12 French fries.
We don't control that. That's the band.
I mean, you know,
we give up the concession stand. Yeah. That's too much to deal with.
When I was at Sam, they asked if powerlifting wanted baseball and softball's concession stand. I said, hell no.
Yep.
Absolutely not. I stuck with my 2 concession stands, the track meets. But it's like, man, it's such a cash cow. Yeah, it's a headache.
Yeah.
I'm not.
That's the hospitality room and concession you need to come to is our power to meet. That's the real. That's where the real.
That's where it is.
You'll get everything from Domino's Pizza to Taco Bell to homemade chili to.
Now, I will tell you, y'all's last meet. This last thing I want to say because now, look, I could talk about food for hours too. Laura Schmidt and Kelly O'Donoghue had the hookup. It was small sliders and Big Mike's Pizza. Small sliders.
Small sliders has been doing a lot for us lately.
Yeah,
they did some. Oh gosh, they would give us 2 trays of sliders before JV football games for the coaches. I'm just like, oh.
You're like, I can't coach. I just need to go lay down.
This is unreal.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They hook up the softball team before every home game.
Yep.
So
I know coaches that will not go back to meets because of the hospitality room.
Oh, 1,000%.
They won't go back.
We pride ourselves on our hospitality room.
Me too. I've been in y'all's hospitality room for
Me too.
I love it. Yeah.
Me too. Like I want that thing loaded.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what Denim did that I was like, that is genius. They're a genius. It's because as a throws coach, we're warming up at 2:15. So unless I sneak away, I mean, by the time we're done at 7, that stuff is done. Mm-hmm. So they actually staggered putting out food.
Yep.
We talked about this in one of the earlier episodes, but the Brutally High Wrestling Tournament hospitality room, hands down the best ever.
Really?
I like to think mine is good. And Joe's is really good too. But this thing was unreal. Every 3 hours, 9 new dishes move in.
That's the way to do it.
and like just giant pans of this food. Mm-hmm. Like, where's this coming from? Unbelievable.
But on that note with the food.
You are going to go eat.
I am going to go eat, gentlemen, because it's been about 3 hours for me.
That's cool. Coach, we appreciate having you on. I love the
Coach, you're awesome.
Fun. We need to do it again.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's going to be a Waffle House night. Grand Slam.
100%.
That's Patrick's favorite spot. We've been going to different ones lately.
The one in Watson's pretty good.
It is. It's clean.
It's nice. That. I wasn't saying it. You said it for me.
I'll say it. It's clean.
It's clean.
It is.
I've only seen one fight there, one domestic.
I was about to ask how many.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, the nicest people in America, Waffle House is Gonzalez. I'm convinced. Yeah. They're so nice. So, well, look, we loved having you on.
It's been fun.
We appreciate you.
You're great.
Appreciate y'all.
And
y'all have a good one.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Joe, she was great, man.
Dude, she's awesome, man. She has helped me so much in my career just in this short time. Mm-hmm. It's, she's the one, the way my weight room looks now, she's the one that gave me the idea.
Really?
Yep, she is. Well, man, that was a great episode.
It was, dude.
Great episode. We'll be back next week, where we'll see guest-wise.
Yeah.
We'll see. We got a few on the plate. Yep, we got a few on the plate to see, and, I hope you have a great week, man.
You too, buddy. You too,
all right. Well, we'll see everyone next week, same time, 6 p.m.
Thank you to all our listeners, man.
Thank you all.